and he tries to go a single leg. So at this point in time, I grab his sleeve and I roll over my shoulder for an omoplata move. So I come and grab his other hand with both hands for the finish, or I can sweep him for the guard pass.
Raspando o adversário.
Now my opponent wants to do the sit-up guard. So he tries to sit up and at the same time hook my leg that is up. So again, when he tries to sit up and tries to hook my leg, the same leg that he tries to hook is going to come on top of his leg. And then I'm going to go right to cross face. And then I'm going to switch my base and at the same time passing his guard. Then I readjust for a guard pass for side control. My opponent wants to do the sit-up guard and at the same time hook my leg. But when he does that, the same leg that he's trying to hook, it's going to come across his leg. But I'm not going to go on top of his thigh. I'm going to go to the side, right by his ankle. Then I'm going to hug his head. And then I'm going to switch my base at the same time passing his guard. Then I'm going to control his gi pen by the knee and adjust for a guard pass on side control. Okay, now my opponent is playing half guard. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to control his gi right under the armpit. And then I'm going to try to bring my elbows down to the mat, really close to the mat. And then I'm going to bring my hips down, kicking my legs back a little. At this point in time, I'm controlling my opponent already. But it's not enough. Now I'm going to put my head on his belly and I'm going to bring both of my hands and hug his legs, my opponent's legs, under his waistline. Now notice at the grip I'm doing. It'll be your preference how you want to grip. So now at this point in time, all I do is get on the tip of my toes and kick my legs back all the way, forcing my opponent to open up the half guard. Once that I'm free, I get back on my toes, I switch my base passing my opponent's guard, and then I go cross face and readjust for side control. My opponent is playing half guard. What I'm going to do is to grab my opponent's gi under his armpits, and then I'm going to bring myself back a little. Now I'm going to put my head on top of my opponent's belly. And then I'm going to bring my hands down and hug my opponent's legs under his waistline. Then I'm going to get on the tip of my toes. And by bringing my legs back and bringing myself down, I'm going to force my opponent's half guard open. And then with one hand I'm going to grab his gi pen. And then I'm going to get on the tip of my toes, switch my base, passing my opponent's guard. Then I'm going to go cross face on my opponent and adjust for side control. Okay, now what happened on the last guard pass technique was that my opponent came in with a butterfly guard, putting a hook under my leg. So what I did right now, it was that I started dominating my opponent's gi pen with one hand right by his knee, and then with the other one, using my shoulder on top of his knee, I grabbed his gi pen too. So I used my shoulder to eliminate the hooks that my opponent had on me. And then once I did that, I started going around for the guard pass, and he started pushing me away. So I kept switching my base, putting pressure on him until I got to pass his guard. And I went cross face to keep him flat on the mat. Okay, in this last guard pass technique,